YouTube, what is up, everybody? It is your girl BBossArmy, and as you guys can tell by the title, today we're going to be talking about why no contact will only, keyword, only work very well if you do these things, and only if you do these things this specific way. Not necessarily like, oh, one day you missed a step, such as, this is not one of my points, but this is definitely a good example. Let's just say not reaching out, something so basic. Those type of steps, if you do miss it, you do have to now catch up in other ways. So it almost leads you to doing it in a certain way until you get the results. And then obviously what you do afterwards, once she reaches out after the no contact, that is important, but we won't be getting into that. If you guys do want to know more though, let me know. Okay, so please give this video a huge thumbs up. I have 2 other channels linked down below. And are y'all ready? So first thing I want to say is that you guys absolutely love the no contact videos, and just keep letting me know, because I will drop them. Like, I have no problem doing that, but I don't want to, get you guys bored and stuff. So the first reason and only way no contact will work so well is that she has to have some sort of access to you. So the thing about women, it gets harder the more beautiful they are, like I said in the past, right? So that's important, but the other part that a lot of fellas don't get is that it might get harder as prettier as she is, or the better looking she is, but it also means that she's not going to be willing to do more, in a sense of, if you put her in the position of like she has to step up her game, most times you're not going to have that with the babe, with the fine babe, the type of woman that you want, because she doesn't have to do that and she's not up for the challenge. So obviously nowadays women have the options, we get that point. But it's also you guys to get that if you guys go ahead and want to deal with these women, you're going to have to give her some sort of something to jump off of, because she doesn't know how to jump off of nothing, right? She's not used to not getting nothing from guys. You guys have to understand what type of woman you're dealing with, right? A lot of times some fellas be like, okay, well, I've been doing no contact for a while, and BBossArmy, it hasn't helped. Like, I haven't been speaking to her. She doesn't give a damn about me. Fellas, she's not gonna reach her back. Well, can you say reach her back? She's not gonna stretch her back. That's like how I can say it. She's not gonna stretch her back, break her back to reach for you guys or message you guys. She doesn't have to do that. You guys are there. So now you guys have to make yourself stand out without trying. And this is the part where you can, because the other stuff that you'll do after the no contact, that work, will matter afterwards. But that first part has to matter, of her having some sort of access to you guys. And now this next part of having access to you, that means that yes, no contact means you don't reach out to her. And also, you guys, don't forget, there is no time period on no contact. I'll get into it in a second, but it also means that she won't reach out to you, but she also does have to have access. So in all conclusion, all my fellas out here, if you are the blocker, yes, you are the guy that runs to blocking. I used to be, I would say, a girl that kind of ran. No, I never was. And I'm being real with you guys, because I don't think running to blocking is going to solve anything. Most times you just block to not end up dealing with her, right? You don't want her to have access with you. You're frustrated. It's just like what you run to. So you never want to be the blocker. And if you're the blocker, get out of that. I just feel like, I feel like I see comments, people saying, do blocking. Just don't do it. If you do blocking, only do it to actually get rid of her. If you're not trying to get rid of her, fellas, don't lie to yourself that you want to get rid of her. That's the reason why no contact won't work. It'll only work if you really actually want to get rid of her, and then that'll be a different story. So now if we're taking this no contact route, and she still has access to you guys, that means communication is still there. So if she texts you, right, after 30 days, now this is a time where we can talk about the time period. No contact, there is no 30 days, there is no 3 months, there is no 4 months, okay? So if she contacts you after a certain amount of time, that is because now she's ready to reach out to you. But fellas, if she didn't contact you this whole entire time, it's probably because obviously she might not be interested, but remember, that's besides the point. If you're doing everything after this point right, and you're on your purpose, money, all that stuff, but once she contacts out, that access was given to her. So I'm gonna leave it at that, because it's not difficult. Just make sure you don't block her. Make sure that, when you see her in public, It's not that you're running away from her. Make sure that if you're interested in her and you want more from her, it's not because, oh, well, you know what, I'm just, doing it for a second, but I'm going to hide my feelings. No, you want to show how you feel, but you want to make sure that you're being true to yourself. And in order to be true to yourself is that you don't let the feelings affect you, fellas. Last thing I'll say about this is that you don't let your feelings affect you to block her or do things that's going to have no contact work. So moving on, once the woman goes ahead and messages you guys, right, after doing no contact properly, making sure that she still has access, right? A pretty female nowadays, a baddie, whatever type of girl that you want, hottie, hot girl, hot chick, fine babe, she's not doing the most. So now that she has access, she's not entertained. She's not interested in you guys. This is a part where fellas have to build and grow. And this is why no contact will only work so well, because in order to have her want you back, she most times has to see what she's missing out on. So you'll have two aspects. The first one will be she's missing on what she didn't notice the first time, the whole entire time of dealing with you guys, and then it will be what she'll notice afterwards. Now, I'll elaborate on specifically this. I will have my no contact videos, don't worry about that, but so we can touch on this so I can help you guys in this video. This first part is that the part where you go ahead and give her access, most times she's not going to reach out to you guys, right? Or you know what, maybe if you went ghosting her and things like that, it could work. Maybe if you did no contact, it could work, but it won't really work unless you go ahead and do the back work. So let's just say this, you tried everything, right? Maybe you didn't speak to her, and we won't say it was no contact, you just ignored her, let's say it like that, but you weren't working on yourself. So either way, at the end of the day, the next steps in order for her to realize that she was missing something else is that she has to see that work that you have within you. So this is oftentimes what you already have, but you are holding yourself back from accomplishing or doing because you were so invested into her. You were so, let's say it like this, latched. That's how you say it. Sorry, I said latched. Okay, my bad. But English is not my first language. No, I'm just throwing that out there for no reason. So when you lash onto her or whatever, this part is basically to sum up, she's now noticing what you have, what you've been going on, what you've been having going on, what you're doing or upcoming doing, and it's all the results in front of her face, right? So the realization is enough for a woman to realize during no contact, while you still gave her access, but you were busy on yourself, she is now seeing while you're maybe still posting on your story or just being active, but now the whole idea is you're moving on with your life. So the first aspect is very, very basic, and this is kind of what happens with a lot of fellas. This is like the basic aspect that fellas can't even get to, of not speaking to her. So if we move forward and you move on with your life and you focus on yourself, you're going to naturally do the stuff that is just about you, or the stuff that's not going to distract you, right? Like a woman and stuff. So that's why no contact will start working well, is because she has access to see that, and this whole time she overlooked it. Now, she might have overlooked it for different reasons. Maybe she was just dealing with different guys. Maybe she wasn't really interested in you, or it could have just been like, you know what, at this point, now you're not speaking to me. And this is the real reason why no contact could really work with this first point, is that this whole time you weren't speaking to me. I just didn't even care to even look at you. But now that you don't want to speak to me, and honestly, it works like this, I will look at you. And so now they realize, okay? And this also can I would say kind of somewhat can relate to like the grass is not green on the other side, because only to a certain extent that woman will go to another man or deal with another man thinking it will be better. But in all reality, she might have just overlooked you or just kind of discarded you, right? And to sum that part up so we can move on to the last part, as I mentioned, remember there's two parts, fellas, right? To sum up this last part, if she's overlooking you, fellas, this is the part where I always tell you, don't forget your qualities about yourself, because if she's overlooking you, that's one woman that's overlooking you. That's one woman that's dismissing the fact that you are a high value man. One woman. You guys make that one woman to matter. You don't. So if she's overlooking you, doesn't care about your image, doesn't think that you're important enough, this is the part where you guys have to say, I don't tolerate it. And so only no contact can work if you go ahead and say, I'm not going to accept it. I'm not going to be about it. Fellas, in order for no contact to work, and this is how we'll wrap up with this like little portion, and then remember we have that little portion, that big video will come up. I kind of will do like a versus or back-to-back type of thing, you know? So to wrap up, if no contact is not working for you guys and you guys feel like you were doing what you should be doing, in all reality, she just has not noticed what you are capable and valuable of. You always have to just be showing it. Always put it out there, because she will be looking at you. And if she's not, it'll be later down. And if it's not later down because you guys feel like, oh, I'll never be the guy that has this and that, fellas, if you get to that point, you don't have that worry. Okay? So let's go ahead and move on to the last point, right? And so now it's what you became, right? This whole time she kind of like dismissed you, overlooked you, kind of felt like, you know what, you're not that valuable. What can I say? You're not that, you know, comparable to the other guys. You're not even on that level or close to, unfortunately. So this next part is who you become, who you've been, doesn't matter. But now the transformation is impacting her to understand your value. So that first point, I really hope you guys got it. Once again, let me know if you want me to elaborate. But if she sees who you can potentially be based on what you're becoming, right? The progress that you've made this whole entire time. This is not while you were dealing with her. And even if she overlooked at it, she's now noticing it. And maybe you just got better at it. Now that she notices it, the no contact is only working so well simply because she wants to just jump on that. Remember that latch thing that I was saying? What did I say? Latch or whatever. That whole latch thing when she gets onto it and just clings on it. I'm talking about attachment. When I talk about that latching onto you, it's like a leech. You know, once she sees that you're doing good, right? And this is the part where money applies so heavily, applies so hard. Once that she sees that you're doing good, once that she sees that, okay, you are capable of actually being this guy that you've been saying you could be. Now, this is the part that does matter as well. If she comes into your life and she knows that you'll never be that guy again or in that moment, that matters. So that's the other part, which I won't get into, but that's the after effects of like no contact not working. And then no contact didn't matter that you did it because it has to work until the end. So just to move back to this point of if you are improving and you are getting somewhere, making that progress in life, you won't have the worries of no contact not working. Because even if she doesn't want you in that current moment, she's going to want you later on. And that's as you grow. So also take it like this. Maybe she doesn't want you in that current moment. And sadly, fellas, it might just because in that current moment, you haven't reached those expectations that she has. Now, we already know the expectations are going to be high. So whatever it is, maybe, you know, based on your woman, she's been asking you to make a certain amount or do certain things. Or maybe you've been saying you have a certain dream, a certain job you want to jump on. Maybe you didn't jump on that job or you got declined. But it's all about you guys living up to it and making it happen when you can. When it's supposed to happen. So simply your confidence, and this is how we'll wrap up. This is how your confidence is so important, because you have to show your confidence before you reach to the point of being your high value self, because that's how women will get involved in you. They will get interested just knowing that, oh, you do, or potentially it could be like that. So a lot of times, yes, fellas do manipulate and lie, but it's not necessarily that they're manipulating and lying, but they realize that with women, even if you do say one word, and it could be broke, right? And some girls, if you say you're broke, oh my gosh, you're broke, I can't be around you. So just with certain men, it's really down to they have to say certain words. And like, yes, saying Benz, saying Range Rover, saying what are the fancy things out here? The chains, what Cuban links, saying things like Rolex. You guys gotta think about Chanel. You gotta think about Birkin. You gotta think about what you hear all the time in social media and what matters, because those are the things that a woman will latch onto you, be involved with you, because now you're doing, but this is what's a part of you, right? And so now you're doing because now you have money and you can buy her that Chanel, that Birkin, or now you have money and now you can have this or whatever job you have. And I say this, watch, right? So whatever it is, just remember her expectations. If she wants a man that's, once again, making, you know how it goes, 100K a month, right? I really didn't want to say it, but I had to close out. Lastly, if you're making that 100K a month, you already know she's going to be on to you. You know, that hoe is going to be like, can I get some? So in all reality, that's kind of what it's about. And I will most definitely elaborate. I really still want to keep going, but y'all gotta let me know what types of videos you guys want to see. And just make sure that you're improving yourself, because no contact has to almost work when you are improving. That's what women want. They want to see you do better, and they don't want to see you do better without them. Okay? So make sure you get your money up. Stay focused on yourself. And when you do better, make sure you stay doing better, not going back. Okay? Because just because you got her back doesn't mean no contact is worth it. And it doesn't mean it worked well completely. Okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. And you guys see me in my next video. Bye, guys.